The air hung heavy with an unspoken dread, a palpable tension that settled over the small, unassuming town of Oakhaven. It was a place where everyone knew everyone, where the rhythm of life was as predictable as the changing seasons. Yet, on one particular night, that rhythm was violently disrupted, leaving behind a void that no one could comprehend. Anna, a young woman whose life was a tapestry of quiet routines and simple pleasures, vanished without a trace, taking with her only her enigmatic black cat, Midnight. The story of Anna and Midnight is not just a tale of a missing person. It is a chilling narrative woven with threads of local folklore, baffling clues, and a pervasive sense of the inexplicable. Oakhaven, nestled deep within a valley cradled by ancient, whispering forests, was a town steeped in tradition and a touch of superstition. Its houses, mostly built of dark wood and stone, huddled together as if seeking comfort from the encroaching wilderness. The climate was often damp, with a persistent mist that clung to the trees, giving the landscape an ethereal, almost otherworldly quality. Anna lived in one such house, a quaint cottage on the outskirts, surrounded by a garden she meticulously tended. She was known for her gentle demeanor, her love for books, and her unwavering devotion to Midnight, a sleek, obsidian-furred feline with eyes that seemed to hold ancient secrets. Midnight was more than a pet. He was Anna's shadow, her confidant, a silent observer of her solitary life. The townspeople often spoke of Midnight with a mixture of affection and unease, attributing to him an almost supernatural intelligence, a guardian spirit in feline form. The evening of Anna's disappearance, October 27th, began like any other. The autumn chill had already set in, painting the leaves in fiery hues of red and gold before stripping them bare. Anna had spent the day at the local library, a place she frequented, returning home as dusk began to settle. Mrs. Gable, her elderly neighbor, recalled seeing Anna watering her petunias. Midnight perched on the garden wall, his tail twitching rhythmically. "She waved to me, just like always," Mrs. Gable recounted, her voice still laced with a tremor of disbelief. "Said she was looking forward to a quiet evening with a new book." That was the last confirmed sighting of Anna. The night deepened, bringing with it a thick fog that rolled in from the forest, enveloping Oakhaven in a shroud of silence. The kind of silence that amplifies every creak, every rustle, every imagined whisper. The following morning, a palpable unease began to spread. Anna, a creature of habit, failed to show up for her volunteer shift at the animal shelter. Calls to her cottage went unanswered. By midday, a small group of concerned neighbors, led by Mrs. Gable, ventured to her home. The front door was unlocked, a detail that immediately sent shivers down their spines. Inside, everything was eerily normal yet profoundly wrong. A half-finished cup of tea sat on the kitchen counter. A book lay open on her bedside table, and her favorite shawl was draped over a chair. But Anna was gone, and so was Midnight. There were no signs of a struggle, no forced entry, no note. It was as if she had simply ceased to exist, dissolving into the very fabric of the foggy night. The only anomaly was a faint, almost imperceptible scent of something metallic, like old iron, lingering in the air, a detail dismissed by the initial responders as merely the smell of the old house. The local sheriff, a man named Brody, a lifelong resident of Oakhaven, was baffled. He had seen his share of disappearances, runaways, and tragic accidents, but this felt different. This felt impossible. The initial search efforts were extensive, involving volunteers combing the surrounding forests, dragging the nearby creek, and questioning every resident. But the dense woods offered no clues. The creek yielded nothing but fallen leaves, and the townspeople, though cooperative, had nothing concrete to offer. The mystery of Anna and Midnight had begun, a chilling enigma that would haunt Oakhaven for years to come. What do you think happened to Anna and Midnight? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more unsolved mysteries. The initial investigation into Anna's disappearance was a frustrating dance between hope and despair, a series of dead ends that only deepened the enigma. Sheriff Brody, a man whose weathered face mirrored the struggles he'd witnessed in Oakhaven, found himself facing a case unlike any other. The lack of any tangible evidence was the most perplexing aspect. No forced entry, no signs of a struggle, no footprints in the soft earth around her cottage, despite the recent rain. It was as if Anna and Midnight had simply evaporated. The local police, accustomed to petty crimes and minor disputes, were ill-equipped for a mystery of this magnitude. Their resources were limited, their experience in such complex cases virtually non-existent. The initial search, though thorough in its intent, was hampered by the vastness of the surrounding wilderness and the rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. The fog that had descended on the night of Anna's disappearance seemed to have swallowed any potential clues whole. The family, a distant aunt and uncle who lived several towns away, arrived in Oakhaven distraught and bewildered. They could offer no insight into why Anna might have left voluntarily, emphasizing her quiet, contented nature. She had no known enemies, no secret lovers, no financial troubles. Her life was an open book, or so it seemed. The only person who truly knew Anna, they believed, was Midnight, her constant companion, and he too was gone. The absence of the black cat became a focal point of many discussions, both official and unofficial. Some townspeople, particularly the older generation, whispered about the local legends of shadow cats, felines believed to be guardians of ancient secrets, capable of traversing between worlds. These were dismissed by Sheriff Brody as mere folklore, but the persistent mention of Midnight's unusual intelligence and almost human-like understanding of Anna's moods began to sow a seed of doubt, even in his pragmatic mind. As days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the official investigation slowly ground to a halt. The initial fervor of the search waned, replaced by a somber acceptance that Anna and Midnight were simply gone. The case was eventually classified as a cold case, a file gathering dust in the sheriff's office, a constant reminder of Oakhaven's unsolved mystery. However, the town itself refused to forget. The story of Anna and her black cat became a local legend, whispered around campfires and discussed in hushed tones in the local diner. Children were warned not to venture too deep into the woods, lest they encounter the shadow cat that had taken Anna. The metallic scent, initially dismissed, began to resurface in the memories of those who had first entered Anna's cottage, a faint, unsettling detail that refused to be forgotten. It was a scent that some described as ancient, like blood on old coins, or the tang of a forgotten forge. The lack of a body, or any definitive proof of foul play, fueled a myriad of theories, each more outlandish than the last. Some believed Anna had simply run away, seeking a new life, but this contradicted everything known about her character. Others suggested a tragic accident in the vast, unforgiving wilderness, but no trace was ever found. The most unsettling theories, however, revolved around the supernatural. Oakhaven had its share of local cults and esoteric groups, remnants of a bygone era when pagan rituals were whispered about in the shadows. Could Anna have been a victim of such a group, her disappearance a sacrifice to some ancient deity? The idea, though horrifying, gained traction among those who sought an explanation beyond the mundane. The legend of Midnight, the black cat, became intertwined with these theories. Was he a familiar, a magical creature connected to Anna's fate? Or was he merely an animal caught in a tragic circumstance? The questions lingered, unanswered, casting a long shadow over Oakhaven. The town, once a picture of serenity, now a town grappling with its own past, its own shadows, a place where the line between reality and myth blurred. The metallic scent, now a recurring motif, was interpreted by some as the residue of an alien craft, or the lingering essence of a magical ritual. The mystery of Anna and Midnight was no longer just a local tragedy. It was a canvas onto which the townspeople projected their deepest fears and wildest imaginings. The best is yet to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more captivating stories. Years passed, and the memory of Anna and Midnight, though never truly forgotten, began to fade into the background of Oakhaven's collective consciousness. The cottage remained empty, a silent monument to a mystery that refused to yield its secrets. Sheriff Brody, now nearing retirement, still kept Anna's file on his desk, a constant reminder of his greatest failure. But then, A series of seemingly unrelated events began to unfold, slowly, meticulously, weaving together a new narrative that would shatter the town's long-held assumptions. The first crack in the wall of silence came from an unexpected source, a group of amateur spelunkers exploring a newly discovered cave system deep within the Oakhaven forests. The caves, known locally as the Whispering Labyrinth, were notorious for their treacherous passages and ancient, almost claustrophobic atmosphere. It was there, in a remote chamber, that they stumbled upon a small, intricately carved wooden box, partially buried under centuries of sediment. Inside, nestled amongst dried leaves and ancient earth, was a tarnished silver locket, unmistakably Anna's, and a single, perfectly preserved black cat whisker. The discovery sent shockwaves through Oakhaven, instantly reigniting the cold case. The locket, though old, still held a faint, almost imperceptible metallic scent, identical to the one remembered from Anna's cottage. This time, however, the scent was stronger, more defined, leading investigators to a new line of inquiry. The whisker, carefully analyzed, confirmed it belonged to a domestic cat, specifically a black one. The implications were staggering. Anna and Midnight had been in those caves. But how and why? The spelunkers also reported a strange, almost magnetic pull in the chamber where the box was found, a subtle distortion that affected their compasses and made their skin tingle. This detail, initially dismissed, would later prove to be crucial. Sheriff Brody, with renewed vigor, reopened the investigation, bringing in forensic experts and a team of experienced cave rescuers. The caves were meticulously mapped and searched, revealing ancient carvings on the walls, depicting figures with feline features and symbols that resembled the locket's intricate design. These carvings, previously unnoticed, hinted at a forgotten history, a connection between the caves, the town, and perhaps Anna herself. Further investigation into the locket revealed a hidden compartment, containing a tiny, rolled-up piece of parchment. On it, written in Anna's elegant script, was a series of cryptic symbols and a single, chilling phrase: "The shadow guides the way." The symbols, when cross-referenced with local historical archives, were identified as an ancient dialect used by a reclusive community that had once inhabited the Oakhaven Valley centuries ago. This community, known as the Whisperers of the Vale, was believed to have possessed a deep understanding of the natural world and a connection to ancient forces. They were said to have revered black cats as sacred guardians, believing them to be conduits to other realms. The discovery of this parchment, combined with the cave carvings, began to paint a picture far more complex and fantastical than anyone had imagined. It suggested that Anna's disappearance was not a random act, but perhaps a journey, or even a ritual, guided by forces beyond human comprehension. The metallic scent, now understood to be a unique mineral deposit found only in the deepest parts of the Whispering Labyrinth, further solidified the connection between Anna, Midnight, and the ancient secrets hidden beneath Oakhaven. The town held its breath as the truth, slowly but surely, began to emerge from the shadows. The final chapter of Anna and Midnight's story unfolded with a series of revelations that defied conventional understanding, pushing the boundaries of what Oakhaven believed possible. The cryptic message on Anna's parchment, "The shadow guides the way," became the key to unlocking the true nature of her disappearance. With the help of linguists and historians, the ancient symbols were deciphered, revealing a map to a hidden chamber within the Whispering Labyrinth, a chamber said to be a nexus of ancient energies. It was there, in the heart of the earth, that the final pieces of the puzzle fell into place. The metallic scent, the strange magnetic pull, the folklore of shadow cats, it all pointed to a truth far stranger than murder or abduction. Anna, it turned out, was not a victim, but a seeker. She had been drawn to the ancient energies of the caves, guided by Midnight, who was indeed more than just a pet. He was a familiar, a creature of the Vale, tasked with guiding those who sought to understand the deeper mysteries of the world. Anna had not vanished. She had transcended, stepping through a portal to another realm, a realm where the boundaries between life and death, reality and myth, blurred. The locket, a family heirloom, was not just a keepsake, but a key, a device that resonated with the cave's energies, allowing passage. The town of Oakhaven, once a quiet haven, was now forever marked by the extraordinary, a place where the veil between worlds was thin, and where the whispers of ancient secrets could still be heard by those who dared to listen. The mystery of Anna and Midnight was finally solved, not with a capture, but with a revelation, a testament to the hidden wonders that lie beneath the surface of our seemingly ordinary world. The story of Anna and Midnight serves as a chilling reminder that some mysteries are not meant to be solved by conventional means, but rather understood through the lens of ancient wisdom and the acceptance of the inexplicable. It is a tale that continues to echo through the whispering pines of Oakhaven, a town forever changed by the woman who walked between worlds, guided by her shadow cat.